Well, hey everybody, it's Lucas here, and we got another fiddle restoration that we've just kind of completed, and it's set in the shop here on my rack for a few days just to make sure that everything was stable and secure, because this was a pretty big one here. The neck basically fell out. The back was on crooked, and somebody had done some work from the back. They had taken the back off, which I don't typically do. If I don't absolutely have to, I don't. But somebody had been in there before, taken the back off. There was some loose seams. So we popped the back off because it was kind of put back on a little bit crooked. When we did that, the neck basically fell out. So, which was okay because there was some stuff going on with the neck anyway. There had been a shim put in, and it was coming apart. You know, it was a spruce shim that had been put in there. So, we took all that out, cleaned all that up, and did a neck reset for all intents and purposes. We put it back to where it was originally because everything lined up perfectly, like the back button and everything it lined up. So that's what it needed in the first place. This is a violin. What does it say exactly on the label here? Trademark something, kind of a weird, I'd call it like an S that's been crossed 3 times from different angles. Made in Japan. I'm not really familiar with it. Didn't find a whole lot of information. I didn't really look too terrible hard either. This is a restoration of a family heirloom. So value never really played into the equation at all, to be real honest. They wanted it not to disintegrate any further and, to potentially be playable. So, when I do stuff like that, I try not to mess with things, So it's got these old, these are kind of a mechanical tuning peg sort of thing. They've got the nut that tightens down. They're not the worst if they're in condition, if they're done decently. The tailpiece was pretty ratched. The strings had gone through the holes and worn them out. So I put a new tailpiece on, but I left the original chin rest. Which kind of keeps a little bit of the aesthetics. I used the original fingerboard. I dressed it. It was plenty thick enough. Probably been replaced at some point. And then a new nut, new saddle, new end button because the end button was broken. So all in all, this fiddle came out better than expected, and it actually doesn't sound too bad. It actually has quite a sweet tune, and these are not the best strings on there. They wanted, basic fittings and whatnot. If this violin was going to be played more, I would say, putting a better set of strings on may well go a long ways to improving the quality of the sound of this violin even more. This is the first time that I've played it. It's just been sitting up on the rack, and I've been watching, everything to make sure that it's settled in and it's not moving, and it's not. It's still perfect. It's been about a week. And so, yeah, I'm surprised at the tone that it had because this is thick. This fiddle is thick. Okay, there's nothing finesse about it. It's got a kind of a, not a super pleasing looking scroll on it. It's kind of, what do you call that, obtuse? Like it's really, doesn't look very proportionate to me. Not a lot of, this is probably, these were mass produced, right? So, but anyway, there it is, going back to its owner, and it's a gem.